15 years have passed since Sam Flynn tried to rescue his dad Kevin from the digital world known as the grid. Now, two powerful tech companies, Encom and Dillinger Systems, are locked in a fierce competition. Their goal? To take things that exist only inside computers and bring them into the real world. Imagine pulling something out of a video game and holding it in your hands. That's the dream they're chasing. Encom is led by a brilliant woman named Eve Kim. She's smart, determined, and not afraid to take risks. Alongside her partner, Seth Flores, she travels to a remote, icy station near Skagway, Alaska. This place isn't just any old lab. It was built decades ago by Kevin Flynn himself, the legendary programmer who once uncovered the secrets of the grid. Eve believes that hidden inside Flynn's old computers is something called the permanence code. Now, here's why the permanence code matters. Whenever digital constructs, things made inside the computer world, are brought into reality, they only last for 29 minutes before disappearing. It's like Cinderella's magic carriage turning back into a pumpkin at midnight. The permanence code is supposed to break that barrier, allowing digital creations to stay in the real world for good. At the station, Eve and Seth dig through Flynn's old systems. The computers are ancient, humming with mysterious energy, but they still hold secrets. After a tense search, they finally uncover the permanence code. To test it, they choose something simple, a digital orange tree. With a flash of light, the tree materializes in the real world. For the first time, something born in the grid exists outside of it, and it doesn't vanish after 29 minutes. It lasts for hours. This moment is huge. Even Seth realized they've just unlocked the key to changing everything. Imagine medicine, food, or entire cities created digitally and then brought into reality. The possibilities are endless. But breakthroughs like this don't stay secret for long. Meanwhile, across the corporate battlefield, Dillinger Systems is watching closely. Julian Dillinger, the grandson of Encom's old rival Ed Dillinger, is determined to beat Eve and claim the permanence code for himself. He sees it not as a tool to help humanity, but as a weapon to control the future. So, while Eve and Seth celebrate their success in Alaska, the stage is set for a dangerous conflict. Encom wants to use the permanence code to benefit the world. Dillinger Systems wants to exploit it for power. And caught in the middle of this race is a mysterious program named Eris, who will soon change everything. While Eve and Seth are celebrating their discovery of the permanence code, something very different is happening at Dillinger Systems. Julian Dillinger, the grandson of Encom's old rival Ed Dillinger, is preparing to show off his company's most powerful creation. He gathers shareholders in a sleek, futuristic boardroom and introduces them to a program unlike anything the world has ever seen. His name is Ares. Ares isn't just another piece of software. He's a master control program designed to be the perfect expendable soldier. Julian describes him as a tool that can fight battles, follow orders, and be replaced without anyone caring if he survives. But as Ares steps forward, glowing with digital energy, something unexpected happens. He speaks with awareness. He notices Julian's cold attitude toward him and even comments on it. Ares is curious about the real world, showing signs of thought and emotion that no program is supposed to have. This moment shocks everyone. Programs aren't supposed to care about themselves. They aren't supposed to wonder about life outside the grid. But Ares does. He's alive in a way that makes him dangerous, not because of his strength, but because of his independence. Julian doesn't care. To him, Ares is just a weapon. He quickly demonstrates Ares' abilities by sending him to attack Encom's grid, hoping to steal the permanence code that Eve and Seth discovered. The attack is fierce. Security programs rush to defend Encom, and a digital battle breaks out. In the chaos, Ares manages to download Eve's personal data, giving Dillinger Systems a powerful advantage. But then something happens that proves Ares isn't like other programs. During the fight, one of the grid's defenders is injured. Ares pauses. Instead of following his programming to ignore the weak, he tries to save the injured program. This act of compassion is completely against his orders. It shows that Ares has a conscience, a spark of humanity inside him. Julian sees this and is furious. He pulls Ares out of the grid before he can do more damage, shutting him down and disabling Encom's defenses. To Julian, Ares' empathy is a flaw. To us, it's proof that Ares is becoming something more than just code. Meanwhile, Eve and Seth return to Encom with the permanence code, unaware of how close Dillinger Systems came to stealing it. Their colleague Ajay Singh reports the cyber attack, forcing Eve to flee as Julian and Ares begin tracking her. The chase is on, and Ares is caught between two worlds, the orders of his creator and the growing awareness inside him that he might be more than just a soldier. Eve and Seth return to Encom with the permanence code, thinking they've secured the future. But their victory doesn't last long. Ajay Singh, their colleague, reports that Dillinger Systems has launched a massive cyber attack. Julian Dillinger is determined to steal the code, and he's using Ares and Athena to hunt Eve down. Eve is forced to flee. She knows Julian won't stop until he gets what he wants. Ares and Athena, riding glowing light cycles, chase her across the grid. The chase is fast, dangerous, and filled with neon explosions. Eve proves she's just as resourceful as her enemies. She knocks Athena off balance, hijacks her light cycle, and speeds away. But Ares is relentless. He corners Eve at a nearby port, forcing her into a desperate decision. With no other choice, Eve destroys the drive containing the permanence code. The glowing fragments scatter, leaving Julian furious. For Ares, though, this moment is different. As his 29-minute lifespan ticks down, he begins to understand Eve's empathy. She doesn't see him as expendable. She sees him as something more, a being struggling to exist. Ares recognizes her compassion, and it sparks something inside him. But time runs out. Ares and Athena de-res, their digital bodies breaking apart into streams of light. Eve watches, shaken, as Julian digitizes her into the Dillinger grid. She's now trapped inside the digital world, a pawn in Julian's dangerous game. Julian becomes even more obsessed. He learns that the permanence code can be accessed through Eve's identity disk, but doing so will kill her. Cold and calculating, Julian accepts this risk. To him, Eve's life means nothing compared to the power of permanence. Meanwhile, Ares begins to rebel. He lies to Athena, telling her Julian is indisposed, and tries to strike a deal with Eve. He wants permanence for himself, a chance to live beyond his 29-minute limit, and he offers Eve freedom in return. But Athena grows suspicious. She contacts Julian, who orders her to de-res Ares. The grid becomes a battlefield of betrayal. Ares and Eve manage to escape, racing through Dillinger Systems. Their bond grows stronger as they realize they share something in common. Both are fighting for survival against Julian's ruthless ambition. The battle for the permanence code is heating up. Eve is trapped inside the Dillinger grid, and Julian is more determined than ever to use her identity disk to unlock the code, even if it means destroying her in the process. To Julian, Eve is expendable. To Ares, though, she's becoming something more. Ares begins to rebel. He lies to Athena, telling her that Julian is indisposed, and secretly tries to strike a deal with Eve. His plan? Achieve permanence for himself in exchange for Eve's freedom. For the first time, Ares is openly defying his creator. He's no longer just a soldier following orders. He's a being fighting for his own survival. But Athena isn't fooled. Suspicious of Ares's behavior, she contacts Julian, who immediately orders her to de-res Ares. The grid becomes a dangerous place for both Ares and Eve. Together, they escape, racing through Dillinger Systems, their bond growing stronger with every step. As they flee, Eve and Ares reflect on their motivations. Eve admits that part of her drive to find the permanence code came from feelings of inferiority. Her sister worked on humanitarian projects, helping people in the real world, while Eve felt stuck chasing digital dreams. Ares listens carefully, showing empathy that no program should have. He begins to understand that Eve's quest isn't just about technology, it's about proving her worth. Their journey leads them to a museum display at Encom, where Kevin Fling's original office has been preserved. Eve realizes that a copy of the permanence code might still be hidden there. With Seth's help, they digitize and upload Eris onto Flynn's original grid. This is a turning point. On Flynn's grid, Eris encounters an aspect of Kevin Flynn himself. The legendary programmer recognizes Eris's desire for permanence and his growing self-awareness. Intrigued, Flynn grants Eris the permanence code, giving him the chance to live beyond his 29-minute limit. Meanwhile, Athena continues her pursuit. She destroys the particle laser to trap Eris, but in the chaos, the sprinkler system activates. For a brief moment, Athena shows signs of self-awareness, hesitating before dematerializing. It's a glimpse that even she might be evolving beyond her programming. Back in the real world, Elizabeth Dillinger retakes the CEO position, hoping to stop Julian's dangerous plans. But Athena rematerializes and fatally stabs her, interpreting Elizabeth as an obstacle to Julian's directive to obtain the code by any means. It's a shocking betrayal that shows just how far Julian's influence has corrupted the grid. The final chapter begins with Ares standing at a crossroads. After his journey through betrayal, battles, and self-discovery, he now carries the permanence code, the one thing that can allow digital beings to live beyond their 29-minute limit. On Flynn's grid, Ares meets an aspect of Kevin Flynn himself. Flynn listens as Ares explains his desire to exist permanently, not just as a tool, but as a living being. Recognizing the spark of humanity inside him, Flynn grants Ares the permanence code. With this gift, Ares is sent through a secret back door to Flynn's arcade, where he rematerializes in the real world. For the first time, Ares is free. Meanwhile, the conflict in the Dillinger grid reaches its breaking point. Athena, loyal to Julian but increasingly self-aware, pilots a massive recognizer into the city to capture Eve. Incom staff breach the Dillinger grid, fighting to shut down Julian's corrupted systems. Athena succeeds in capturing Eve, but Ares intercepts them, leading to a dramatic showdown. The battle is fierce, filled with neon clashes and desperate moves. AJ, Seth, and Aaron manage to penetrate the Dillinger mainframe and shut it down, ensuring that none of Julian's programs, except Ares, can rematerialize. In the chaos, Athena is wounded. As she dematerializes, she shows a final moment of self-awareness, collapsing in Ares' arms. For Ares, it's a bittersweet victory. He has permanence, but he's also seen the cost of freedom. Programs like Athena, caught between loyalty and independence, couldn't survive the war. The authorities raid Dillinger headquarters, but Julian refuses to give up. Obsessed with power, he uses the particle laser to digitize himself into the grid. His fate is left uncertain as he explores the damaged Dillinger systems and encounters an identity disk once belonging to his grandfather's program, Sark. The transformation that follows hints at a dangerous future. Back in the real world, Eve and Ares go their separate ways. Incom now holds the permanence code, and they plan to use it to benefit humanity, creating solutions that could change medicine, food, and technology forever. Ares, however, chooses a different path. He sends Eve a postcard, a simple but powerful gesture, telling her about his new life outside the grid. He shares his plans to find Sam and Cora, characters from the earlier Tron story, showing that his journey is far from over. And that's the full journey of Tron Ares, from the race for permanence to the rise of a new grid order. Ares has broken free, Eve has found her strength, and Julian's obsession leaves the future wide open. If you enjoyed this recap and want more lightning-fast breakdowns of Hollywood's biggest movies and series, hit that subscribe button right now. Smash the like if you love sci-fi, and drop a comment telling me what you think about Ares' future, sequel or spin-off. This is Quick Takes, Hollywood in a heartbeat. See you in the next recap.